What's up, y'all? It's Charlie. Today I'm going to be showing y'all how to make my homemade Louisiana crab cakes with homemade dipping sauce from scratch. This recipe makes about 8 individual crab cakes, enough to serve about 4 people. That's about 2 crab cakes per person. And guess what? It is absolutely delicious. So without further ado, let's get started. Alright, here's all what y'all gonna need to make y'all crab cakes with homemade dipping sauce. Let's get started. You will need 16 ounces, that's 1 pound of lump crab meat, mayonnaise, breadcrumbs, eggs, unsalted butter, 1 large lemon, Zatarain's Creole mustard, sour cream, vinegar, and Worcestershire sauce. For your seasonings, you will need some Zatarain's crab ball, Saute Creole seasoning. Now if you don't have this, you can use the Zatarain's Creole seasoning or the Slap Your Mama Cajun seasoning. Chef Paul put on seafood magic, onion powder, garlic powder, paprika, and cayenne pepper. For your additional seasonings, you'll need some green onion, garlic, and some fresh parsley. And there you go. Alright, let's get straight to it. We're going to start by rinsing off our parsley. Make sure you rinse that off really good. Alright, here we have our green onions. We're going to start by trimming off the roots of the onions. We're just going to chop that off. And now we're going to proceed to chop the green onions. Just going to chop that up. And now we're going to chop up the green onion ends. And this is known as the scallions. Okay, so we're going to chop those up. Alright, here we have 2 cloves of garlic. They're actually cut in half. And we're just going to chop that up until it is minced. Alright, here we have our fresh parsley. We're going to start by trimming off the stems. And you could discard those. Alright, now we're going to cut some of the parsley leaves in half because we just want to chop a small amount of this. Alright, so we're going to chop that up until it's coarse crumbs. Alright, here we have 1 large lemon. We're going to cut that in half. Here we have a citrus juicer. We're going to juice both halves of the lemons. This is the first half here, and this is the second half. Now we're going to take our lemon juice and we're going to add it into a mesh strainer with a bowl underneath it. We just want to get rid of the pulp and the seeds out of there. Alright, and set this on the side. Preheat your fire to medium-high heat. Now let's saute our seasonings. In a cast iron skillet, add 2 tablespoons of unsalted butter. Spread the butter along the bottom of your skillet. Let the butter melt. Okay, now we're going to add 2/3 cup of your chopped green onions, and to that we're going to add 1/2 cup of our chopped green onions, the scallions of course, and 1 tablespoon of chopped garlic. We're going to give this a quick stir. We're going to let this saute for about 5 minutes. It's been about 5 minutes now, and as you can see, our seasonings have cooked down some. Also a light toasty brown color. Now we're going to turn our fire off. We're going to let this cool for about 5 minutes, okay? And that should be enough time. Now, here we have our crab meat into a large bowl. We're going to add 1 tablespoon of unsalted butter. And to that, we're going to add 1/3 cup of mayonnaise, 3 tablespoons of Creole mustard, 2 teaspoons of lemon juice, 1 teaspoon of Worcestershire sauce. Alright, here we have 1 large egg into a small bowl. We're just going to take a whisk and we're just going to mix that until combined. And we're going to add that in. Now we're going to stir all our ingredients together. Just stir that until it's combined. Now let's add some seasoning. Now remember those sauteed green onions and the garlic? Yeah, we're just going to add that in there. And to that we're going to add 1 tablespoon of fresh parsley, 1/2 teaspoon of crab ball, 1/4 teaspoon of Saute Creole seasoning, 1/4 teaspoon of Chef Paul seafood magic, 1 teaspoon of onion powder, 1 teaspoon of garlic powder, and 2/3 cup of plain breadcrumbs. Now we're going to take our spoon and we're just going to stir this until combined. And you'll notice that the mixture will be pretty thick. Don't worry, that is normal, okay? Here we have an 11 by 17 inch baking pan. We're going to spread about 2 teaspoons of canola oil. You can use any type of oil if you like. Now we're going to scoop up 3.3 ounces, that's by weight, of our crab cake mixture. And we're going to take that and place that into the palm of our hand. Now we're going to roll it into a ball. And once we form it into a ball, we're just going to pat it down some. And this is how it looks when we're done. Now I like to weigh my crab cakes. Each crab cake should weigh between 3 to 3.3 ounces altogether, and that should make about 8 crab cakes total. Once done, you transfer them onto your baking pan. Place your crab cakes into the freezer for about 40 minutes or until they get firm. In the meantime, let's make our dipping sauce. In a small bowl, add 1/3 cup of mayonnaise, 1/4 cup of sour cream, 2 teaspoons of Creole mustard, 1 teaspoon of vinegar, 2 teaspoons of Worcestershire sauce, 1 teaspoon of lemon juice, 1/8 teaspoon of crab ball, 1/8 teaspoon of Tony Chachere's Creole seasoning, 1/8 teaspoon of Chef Paul Prud'homme seafood magic, a half a teaspoon of onion powder, a half a teaspoon of garlic powder, 1/8 teaspoon of paprika, and 1/8 teaspoon of cayenne pepper. Take a whisk and stir all ingredients together until combined. Mixture should be pretty thick, that is normal, okay? Now for the secret step. You're going to add 1 to 2 teaspoons of sugar, and that's to cut the acid, okay? Now we're going to take our whisk and we're just going to stir this until combined. Once done, you can just place this into your refrigerator until we're ready to serve this with our crab cakes. Alright, it's been about 40 minutes now, and as you can see, our crab cakes are firm and they're ready to go. This is to ensure that they don't break apart while frying, okay? Now we're going to preheat our fire to medium-high heat. In our cast iron skillet, add 2 tablespoons of unsalted butter. Spread the butter along your skillet, and you're going to let it melt. Now we're going to add our crab cakes. I'm going to add 3 at a time. You can add 4 if you like. Now we're going to fry these for about 3 to 4 minutes on each side. As you can see, that's a nice golden brown. To prevent over browning, just turn the fire on your stove down, okay? Alright, our crab cakes are done. We're going to remove them out of the skillet. We're going to place them onto our serving dish. You can serve these with some lemon slices and your dipping sauce, and you'll be all set. Here is the final presentation. And there you have it, homemade Louisiana crab cakes with homemade dipping sauce made from scratch by New Orleans native. If you like my channel, hit that subscribe button. Hit the bell button if you want to be notified of my videos. You can also check out this recipe along with all my other recipes at www.charliethecookandrews.com. You can also find me on Facebook and on Instagram under the name Charlie the Cook Andrews. Stay tuned as Charlie's Taste Test is coming up next. Now it's time to go ahead and take a bite. I'm going to dip it in my special sauce I made here. Ooh, man. Crab cakes have a nice little slight crunch on the outside, nice and moist on the inside, well seasoned. It's a little spicy now because of the crab ball. Kind of clear my throat a little bit. On point. And then that dipping sauce just brings it all together. It's really, really good. So, give the recipe a try. I hope you all enjoyed the video, and until next time, have a good one. Peace. do. Look at that. Crab cakes melt in your mouth. It's so good.